Hello everyone. Is a Nintendo Switch. It's a HDH001. Yeah, look at that charger port. It looks bad. So the customer, she has this one for less than 3 months. She contacted the Nintendo for this problem, no charge problem, and they gave her an address for the authorized repair by the Nintendo. She sent it to New York in this box, but they return it to her as cannot be repaired from damaged charger port. So that's the authorized repairs. So let's take it apart and look at it. I'm gonna use some home milled solder. Let's go to the microscope. So after I replace the bad charging port, plug it to the charge, it's taking about 100 milliamp or 90 milliamp. So that voltage is not going to the battery. Yeah, the battery is completely 0 volt. It's a flat battery. But we should find some voltages here that's going from the charger port to the battery by the charging IC. Because there is no voltage going to the battery, I did check between the battery pins, there is no short. Between this pin and this pin, there is no short. And it's still taking 100 milliamp. So that 100 milliamp, it's not going to the battery, it's going to the charging IC, and it stopped over there. It means the charging IC is getting bad, or the charging IC is bad, because this port, the pins is touch each other and burn at the charging IC. So I'm gonna look for the charging IC for this one, and we go from there. Yeah, because there's no charging, we can check the charging IC, and we're gonna check all the capacitor around it. So no short here, no short here. Okay, there is a short here, no short here. This one, no short, no short. So we have a short right here in this cap. These capacitors here, none of them shall be short. So this charging IC is bad. I'm gonna replace it, and we'll go from there. After replacing the charging IC, so the switch is taking 15 volt, 400 milliamp or half amp. The battery voltage is a 3.4. So the console charging fine, turns on, but I got this error, 2101-0001. Okay. So that error, CHB4 is linked to the bad battery, bad charger, or bad charging IC. Because this Nintendo, which has a bad charging port and a bad charging IC that was shorted, and the battery was completely flat. So when I charge it, maybe the switch is still remembering there is something going on with the charging circuit. So I'm just gonna disconnect the battery and connect it back.
Where you want this here? Let me check it out. You using this?
No,
So turn it on? You have it on.
I can turn it off. Just put them over there.
Where? On the wall?
And let's try to turn it on. And we're gonna see if it's gonna boot to the home screen. Oh, the battery is low. Let's plug it to the charge and see. Yeah, this works. So just I unplug the battery, plug it back, plug it to the charge, leave it for a little bit to charge. Then I turn it on, system works. So this is all for this video. Thank you for watching and see you again. Yeah, still didn't work right. Yeah, after I put it together and I was thinking is the job is done. The DSS was getting very hot. It's charged, it works, but it's getting very hot. And when I restart it, it gives me that error code. So I did check what the component that's getting hot. Let me put this one back, because the problem is not here in the processor. So already now we replaced the charging port, we replaced the charging IC. Let's see what is getting hot. So I'm just gonna plug. And I replaced the charging IC twice, just I want to be sure. I check the pins in the charging port to see if there is any short, nothing over there. So it's taking 15 volt and 0.3 or 300 milliamp. Yeah, I want to see which part is getting hot. All right, here. Yeah. Must be here in the top chip. There is another chip here. Yeah, this chip is getting hot just because this one, but the most heat is came from this one, and you can see here it's go on off. Yeah, the alcohol is bubbling in this chip. You can see it is moving. When this one start giving the power, the chip is, so that chip is bad. Alright. Plus we can check the capacitor around it as well. Okay, this one. Yeah, this capacitor here is tested like 20 ohm or less. This one 20 ohm as well. This one 20 ohm as well. Yeah, we got some shorts over there. So I'm going to focus on this one because after I replace the chip, I'm going to check this one. This one here. No, this one is not short. So this one and this one is too big. I'm going to need to test them after I replace that chip. I'm going to take it from this board here. Is a Realtek chip. Maybe it's the sound IC. So let's go on a microscope. So the short and the capacitors are gone. So let's see. Yeah, it looks better now. Before, the board is taking 300 milliamp. This chip get very hot. Now the board is taking 20 milliamp. That's a big difference. The chip is not getting warm. So it looks like it's ready. So let's put it again in the board the third time. See if it's gonna work. All right, let's plug it to the charge. And this This DS has taken a little bit time. We already replace the audio IC, charging IC, and the charger port. It turns on, and it is on the home screen from the first try. It's taking about 700 milliamp, 15 volt. Yeah, I hear the sound. I think before I didn't hear the sound because the audio IC was bad. And the battery look like it's charging faster because before it shows charging by taking very long. There is no heat. Yeah, it doesn't get hot. So this is all for this video for real. Thank you for watching and see you again.